Hey, welcome back to another episode of Roll for Initiative, our main campaign at this time, the Twilight Brigade. And we do have a few announcements. The first I want to talk about is the ongoing controversy with Wizards of the Coast and the OGL. Obviously, as a Twitch channel and YouTube channel that relies on the OGL for not getting sued for what we put out in content. I mean, I do. I very clearly read the OGL and made sure that we follow it as closely as humanly possible.
Yes, I'm not going to go into it right now, but there are a lot of ways to avoid any issue, because we could still play Dungeons and Dragons as long as we didn't use the names, because they can't own a game mechanic. But that's neither here nor there. So
I mean, we use Dungeons and Dragons in all of our stuff. We use a lot of it. I made sure when I created Roll for Initiative and when we started doing this that we were following the OGL. And with that being in question, what that's going to look like, we are going to be moving away from any future editions of D&D for our content. We might still use 5th edition, but we are looking at other options in terms of some of our one-shots and stuff like that. Sticking with 5e for at least one more campaign, but definitely not D&D 1. Also, we are migrating all of our D&D Beyond stuff to save that, copy what we have for our character sheets, our homebrew stuff, and then we will be canceling my D&D Beyond subscription. I know they've released a statement about the OGL. We're not going to get into that. This isn't the place, but needless to say, it wasn't enough, came too late. We're going to be moving beyond D&D Beyond. So, with that being said, that's our take on it. We'll be posting more on the Discord, and if you have questions, please reach out. I'd be happy to share my opinions on everything, but I want to keep this lighthearted and not go too in-depth with that. Our other big announcement that we have, is that our friends at Inner Worlds, the YouTube channel where they had done their first season of their show about a group of friends getting together and the relationships that they form. It's a really cool show. Kind of, I mean, how did you guys describe it?
It's like the Guild with Dungeons and Dragons.
They are starting season 2 tomorrow. So those of you watching this live on Twitch, thank you. And those watching it on YouTube, once you're done with this video, hop on over. They are linked on our end screen every episode. So make sure you click that button and go check out season 1 if you haven't, and then support them through season 2. So last time on Joy 20 presents the Twilight Brigade. The Twilight Brigade, consisting of Ser Ridire, Talamh, and Oliver Dunwald, have been sent on a quest to save the world from the Army of the Night, an army of werewolves, vampires, and other nocturnal beasts led by the Sanguine Saints, werewolf worshippers of Shar, the goddess of darkness. The Twilight Brigade have traveled across the land of Fadir and through the Feywild, defeating 2 of the Sanguine Saints and collecting various magical items that will help them along their journey. Most recently, the Twilight Brigade made a deal with the Queen of Witches, much to their chagrin and their hatred of Nick Naveen, and they exchanged safe travel through the Fey trees that they used to enter the Feywild, and they have made a deal for a single memory of each of the soldiers that passes through the Fey Tree. They then went to the fighting pits of Reese Belarus, and they were able to get the last sword needed to create a +2 dancing sword, I believe.
Great sword.
Dancing Blade Greatsword +2. So, they have teleported back to the capital, where they had some errands to attend, and the rest is up to them. So we will see what lies ahead for the Twilight Brigade.
I don't think we should take any soldiers through the Fey Trees.
No?
I don't think we should risk it, and also it would really piss Nick Nevad off after we did all of that negotiating, and then she doesn't get anything from it still. And that would make me very happy inside.
Well, so here's the thing, right? Nothing would make me happier than souring the deal that she made. And we only said that if they come from the tree, she'd get the memories.
Yeah.
If they don't go through, we still held up our end of the deal.
Even if we said all of them that come through, but then no volunteers wanted to go through, it's like it's not. We're not breaking the deal by not bringing anyone through.
Right. Where are we going to send the soldiers?
Well, I mean, they're already working on surrounding the area as it is. They might not be able to easily assault, but if they can just put some pressure on the area to force, then we might be able to just walk in.
So that map that you uncovered.
That Oliver found, yeah.
That Oliver found. How much territory do they have surrounding their capital?
A good chunk of it.
Between the city?
Like most of their land is more north.
Yes.
Not quite surrounding their capital.
Oh, so it's not as long of a march through their territory to get to Haddonfield or Hayfield or whatever you call it.
No, well,
Maybe
they already
but...
have troops stationed in the surrounding areas. They just can't get through the mountains to easily assault.
Oh, well.
And the army that came and covered from us after the siege is moving south down the coast, kind of threatening them over there.
So send one from the capital. So send a force from the capital and one from the coast. You kind of hammer and anvil it.
I think during the chaos of any of that, that's when we slip in.
Right. Okay.
And we can tell anyone that they can come with us if they want, but then they just risk losing some memories. So.
Wait, did we word it to Nick Naven that was it any soldiers or just anyone?
She said anyone that activated the tree. So honestly, if we stuffed a few people in the portable hole and then we activated the tree, then it technically wouldn't affect them.
That doesn't include us, does it?
No, it didn't. It explicitly did not include us. That was part of the deal.
It felt like a long time ago. I can't remember.
A lot of people inside the hole.
It's a 10 by 10 cube. If they're willing to kind of just, stand real tight, you could probably get 15, 20 people with all of their gear in there without just a little bit uncomfortable.
And there's snacks. I think they'll be fine. But, I mean, like a sardine can.
Only be for the few minutes it takes for them to get in, us go through the tree, and then them get out. But
wait a second. Okay, hear me out here. It just says they have to activate the Fey Tree, right?
Yes.
Can we just be a shuttle? Why settle for 15? Well, we can just have like a shuttle service and just all the way. We just shuttle them in.
There's enough vagueness upon it because when we've used the phase tree in the past, does like a portal open up and anyone can walk through it, or is it like you just get near it and then it pulls you through? That's the way I envisioned it. Was the second one.
It's a standing portal that is always open. As you look through it, it's like looking through a door.
Oh. So
that's why the ones that are in the towns are so heavily guarded, is because it is just a permanent open entity.
Oh, they're not trying to guard someone going in. They're trying to guard from coming out.
Both. Idiots going in, monsters coming out.
So in that case, then the activation would be upon them moving through the portal, would be my assumption.
But technically, if they're in a portable hole...
If they're in a portable hole, they're in a separate plane. So
Uh-huh.
it's not, they're not the ones going through.
And plus, I think that Nick Maven would say, well, that's technically correct, which is the best kind of correct.
Well, that's the thing is, like, it's the Fae. So even if someone tried to argue for her that no, it wouldn't count. It's like, no, but it's all about technicality with the Fae.
Right, exactly. I would know.
So that's an option, but I don't think we want to push that if we don't have to.
I will, because it's been a while, I will remind you, she does not like you all.
That means absolutely nothing.
The feeling is mutual.
I'm just saying that if there's a technicality that she might argue with, she might choose to throw down faster than a semantics argument.
True, but the magic won't cause her to steal those memories from those people. She'll just get mad and try to fight us.
Yeah.
And do you really want to lose a favor?
I don't care about her fighting us. I care about her stealing memories from people, like possibly, how to walk or what the color green tastes like.
Does the color green have a taste? I don't think.
Talamh, does the color green have a taste?
Why are you asking me about colors?
Because perhaps your taste senses would be heightened after you lost your sight.
It's like, did you ever eat grass? Or drink green tea? It's like that, but mixed with parsley.
I have a green shake, the protein shakes, like every morning. Haven't you seen?
Oh, well then of course you know what it tastes like.
Yeah. Okay, good. Mint.
It tastes like everything Chuck hates.
Who's Chuck? I agree, but who is he?
So
He's
Chuck
the
was
omnipotent
this
force in the sky that keeps watching us at every moment.
I'm gonna roll perception to see this Chuck.
No.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
See, Chuck, back when I went blind, was this therapist that my parents took me to.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was more like a guidance counselor.
You're getting so meta. The game is about to break.
But
So I guess we go and talk to the king and queen and plan the assault then?
Yeah.
Is there anything else we needed?
I don't think so.
we could see how much the Lord of the Hunt hates
hey.
do.
Does gunpowder exist in this universe?
Oh, jeez.
Not in its current state. Not yet. In the universe, yes, but in like
just
700 or 800 years.
Okay.
Might be a little bit longer than that. I'm trying to remember when my Sunday group. I think I said them 2,000 years in the future.
You could hop a spell jammer and go find some.
I was just trying to think of like what if, remember the cart gambit with the Fey tree?
Oh, God.
What if we did something like that at the castle in Haddonfell?
Oh my God. Dude. We build like a statue of Shar. It's like the Trojan Shar.
I mean, is there anything else we wanted to do though? I think we're just getting ready to plan this assault, and unless we want to go back into the Feywild to meet with the Lord of the Hunt.
Do we think he would be any help for us, or?
It might. I mean, who knows how many werewolves we traipsing through his territory.
I think that it would only affect them if they were doing damage there, but I suppose we could ask if they are.
Sure, they've been hunting animals that he wants to protect.
And it might be nice to say hello again.
If you guys want to, we can. It could be beneficial, but it also could just end up being more of a waste of time.
Well,
Just a matter of...
at the very worst case, we've wasted like what, a couple of minutes here on the Prime Plane.
That's true.
I say we go for it.
Should we go talk to the king and queen briefly before we do that, or?
I
Potentially give them options.
Yeah, let them know about the agreement with Nick Neven so they can decide if that's something anyone wants to risk. And then they can start mustering troops. And we can go meet with the Lord of the Hunt. And then meet back up with them and figure out what's happening next. Yes?
I like it. I like
All
it.
right. Off to the king and queen. I'm going to head towards the palace castle.
All right.
Castle.
I mean, at this point, every major guard blocking your way knows who you are. And it was probably only, what, like 3 days ago that you were last at the castle?
So we teleported to here the same day that we last
Awesome.
talked to them.
Yep.
We spent the night, so that was a night. Then we went into the Feywild, and we were in the Feywild for what was like maybe 30 minutes in the material plane.
I think it would have been
And-
like 4 minutes because it was
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was only
barely
a
any
few minutes, and then we came out up here, and then that we spent that next day going over here and meeting with Reese. So it's been a little over 1 full day.
And then we spent the night, and then we came here.
Yeah, so it's been 2
So
nights.
2 nights have gone by since we left
Yeah.
the capital.
So yeah, so like
yeah,
so like
3 days.
a day-
It is on the 3rd day.
Okay,
Te-
we have come from the
Technically-
east on the 3rd day.
Technically, yeah, it is on the 3rd day, but like actual hours, it's only like 28 hours.
Oh, so it's like Easter 3 days.
All right, so you get to the king and queen, and you're sent into their private chambers. This time, not
Ooh.
their bed chambers, but their private meeting area.
Oh, they're
Sure.
ready.
Yeah. And you've been here once or twice before. This is the room that they had the giant map of the continent laid out.
Hmm.
Gotcha.
They, there's a couple of generals, including the one who's an absolute moron. They're all there, and the king and queen address you, and the king says, so, back so soon. Were you able to accomplish what you needed with Reese?
Yes. Yep, that all went well. So
And
that,
nobody got hurt. Too bad.
nobody got irreparably injured.
You were able to acquire what you needed with no casualties?
Well, we made sure that
Yes.
he didn't die. So yes.
I'm going to conveniently forget about the person that got vaporized by Oliver.
that's
there
right.
was one, wasn't there?
There was
One
one.
casualty.
But he was really asking for it.
That's his name. Con O'Dwyer is there.
He's the stupid guy, right?
Yeah, yep, and then Shari
Let's
Hardhelm.
bring him through the Feywild.
He'll forget how to be annoying.
Yeah. So we'll that went well. We will I don't want to have to spell it all out. We will explain to them the deal we made with Nick Neven.
And if any of them want to take,
Say like this is a risky thing, but if anyone wants to attempt to infiltrate, this is a way to do it. But we're not going to try and force anyone to go with us. But anyone that wants to take that risk can. We might have a way to we'll talk to them about like using a portable hole or a thing like that. Like we might have a way to get past the technicality, but that could make her angry. And then I think we'll mention that we're going to try and go back while they start kind of formulating a final plan. We're going to go and try and talk to the Lord of the Hunt as well, so that since we'll potentially be going through some of the areas that he not necessarily directly controls but protects, so it'd be worth at least letting him know. So yeah, we'll just communicate all that to them, because I don't think there's anything super specific beyond just the basics that we need to communicate. So rather than spell it all out right now again.
Anybody else have any specifics that they want to make sure that are brought up?
They might want to look up, try to find out if Fey Lords have any sort of weaknesses, in case, they do make the Queen of Witches angry.
We would be there with them if that happened.
True.
Yes, I think we'll avoid anything that might have to make a Fey Lord upset. We have enough problems with the werewolves right now, and fighting off a demigod or goddess seems like we'll let you handle that if you decide to do that.
We're gonna have to find out.
If there are fighters willing to risk losing a memory, what is your preferred method? Would you prefer us to attack on land and try and attack from multiple sides? Funnel everybody through the Fey Tree? We have not been through this terrain. We don't know what to expect, so we're going to require you to
I think we need
of
both. I think the best option would be to do both. Launch as safely as possible, given the difficulties of the terrain and whatnot. Launch somewhat of an assault to at least distract or pull out some of their forces in the material plane in the mountains, and then have us and anyone that wants to accompany us, however small that group may be, infiltrate directly into the midst. These people that are anyone that obviously we only want volunteers for this. We don't want to force anyone into doing it, because they're risking losing a memory, and very honestly, it could also. It's somewhat of a suicide mission. But if it's successful, it strikes right at the heart of their operation.
Anyone going through the tree would be the vanguard, the tip of the spear.
We'd be able to get in there with a decisive strike, but there's no guarantee anyone would make it out, even if successful.
The troops that came to clean up in Bilthy have traveled south and are looking for a path that might lead to the hidden city, so they will maintain their orders. I feel that we should send a deployment from Occam to the other side.
It's a movement. Agreed. That makes a lot of sense.
I don't want to risk too many through the Feywild. The unknowns are a bit concerning.
The main benefit of going through the Feywild is you don't have to fight your way there. So everyone who plans on getting to the capital, their capital, will make it there with one less memory per person, but they don't have to fight through occupied territory.
One of you go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
You guys want me to do it?
Can I say I've helped Ser Ridire?
Yes,
So
you may.
advantage.
Yes.
That's a 25.
That is a 25. Would 50 men and women. A smaller group, but one that is made up of strong fighters, be sufficient
As long as they're all willing and understand the risks, I mean, that would
I-
be huge. That many fighters right into the middle of their fortifications.
And remember,
That's yeah. I mean, that's a big deal.
equip them with silvered or magical weapons. We're fighting
Yes.
werewolves here.
Yes, we've been seeking out as much silver as we can and have been enchanting as many blades as we can, and arrows. Not a lot of movement on that so far. Would love to have had a little more time, but I worry that the werewolf progression is gaining momentum in the north. I'd rather cut the head off where it stands than wait and push them back. Unless you think you can infiltrate their northern forces and defeat them.
So, the force that came to Bilsey, was that not a very big contingent of their forces then?
From what our scouts have told us, the forces that were at Bilthy was a large force. We know that. However, we do know that large forces went northwest as well. We're not sure the size and the location of where they went. It wasn't a giant mass like attacked Bilthy, but
still a sizable group at least.
Well, the more that are in the north and the west, the fewer there will be down in the south.
How? I mean, yes, but how long will it take for everything to be arranged for the assault in the mountains? Because we could maybe go investigate northwest if need be.
We could get a sizable force moving almost immediately. How well equipped they will be with silvered weapons.
Oh, that's the most important part. There's no
Not
point in going
Yes.
if they're not
How
gonna
much
be
time?
able-
How much time do you want to take, and are you willing to take to make the preparations more better?
To fully equip the army with everyone having magic or silvered weapons would take 2 to 3 weeks. Unfortunately, we don't have that time.
Yes.
There are enough forces out now that have been successful on the smaller enemies that we could attack we could start marching in the next 2 to 3 days and work on enchanting more as we march. It would take probably 4 to 5 days to march out to surround the area. So we're looking at the earliest attack could be within 7 days, 1 week. Any time in between there would be sufficient, I think.
I think you should take the week because that way you'll be the most prepared, boys.
Yeah. So, do we want to go investigate this northwestern contingent in the meantime? Because we can rejoin up with them a lot more easily than the other way around.
True.
Because we can teleport to here with your plants teleportation.
We have been to that town,
That's the
right?
town. That's the little town we liberated. Yeah.
Ah, yes. Then we could, and then join up. I don't see the harm.
Lord of the Hunt, and then make our way north through
Wait.
the Feywild, and
Weren't we just up northwest at Lady Zamed's party?
Sort of. We never encountered any large force. That's the thing.
Yeah, right.
or even saw any evidence of one. But we were only in this little area. So if they're like over here or something, or just hiding in the forest.
Is their map like 3D and textured?
Yes.
Cool. Good. I do know what I do have an inkling of what Ridire is pointing at. Then.
Yes.
Well, I was doing that more for just our benefit as players, because we don't know where what they would be going to. Like, what would be their goal up there?
Good point.
Do they know about Zemed yet? Have we established if they're aware that she's gone?
They weren't when we left, but they might have become so since then. So if that force was heading up there to try and claim that weapon, they'll either have found that it's not there and turned around, or they're trying to locate it in that region, maybe.
Yeah, I wonder how angry they'll be when they realize that her house fell on her. She's the Wicked Witch of the Northwest.
So it's possible they would maybe be like occupying that city.
Or the other option could be they're trying to cut off the entire north, and so the only other way for us to, for like the capital, if they were to attack it, would be to funnel through the south.
There's no point in attacking from the north anyway.
So if you think they're trying to like march around and mount an attack on the capital
from the north,
while the capital has sent troops south
the way, but also if you look at the map, we're in kind of that V, and there's like a little pass to the south of the capital. So if there was needed to be like a retreat or anything, it would be easier to make it like an easier choke point if they tried to attack from the north and push the entire capital or forces back through the south through a choke point.
If this force was smaller than the one that attacked Bilthy, even with the capital sending a large army, the capital still got much better defenses than Bilthy had.
Unless they're just trying to claim it first and make sure that it's all theirs before they make any major moves.
If that's the case, then one of two things is going to happen. We'd either hit them before they send that army out to then go along that route and attack, or that army is left and now we hit them while the majority of their force isn't home and we're able to hit them even harder. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, that force could turn around and come to attack, but it's going to take them longer to travel up and around the mountains if that was their goal than it would be for us to get in there.
It sounds like we're racing against an attack that we think is going to happen.
I mean, we can try and go up this northwesterly area and do some investigating, but I just have no idea where to even go to try and find anything out.
Unless Alkalite's in part of that. Is she part of that group?
Last time I scryed on her, she was in Haddonfield.
Right, but
and that would have been less than three. That would have been less. I mean, that would have been 30 hours ago.
Okay.
You know, less than 3 full days, but technically 2 nights ago. So like 30 to 40 hours ago.
And what other key?
That was on the 5th water day of Ridire, and it is the 8th day of Ridire.
Yeah.
The 8th.
I could try and I could scry on her again real quick just to find out.
The only key players we really know of right now are Cardinal Thorn and Alkalite.
Yeah, because we killed
Schlegel and Helden are both dead.
Yeah. And we know there's probably a couple other commanders in the ranks.
We haven't heard their names.
We haven't heard names or met any of them. So, you know what? Yeah, let me scry on Acolyte just to see.
Sure.
All right.
Let's scry. Does it zoom in toward Haddonfield and then I get scary wolf face again? Because if that's all that happens, you don't have to narrate the whole thing. You can just
come on! Let me do my one job, man.
You can do it. I'm just trying to save you.
have
I'm trying to
one.
save you time.
And I can do it. I'm glad I have your permission. You know what?
It's giving you the option of saving some time if you don't want to. I'm not saying I don't want to hear you do it. I'm giving you that option if you didn't want to do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on, dice! You take
Jeez.
1 point of psychic damage.
Oh no.
Come on!
Oh no, my psyche, it's broken.
Oh.
Is that what happened? Is that why the psychic damage?
Yes.
Okay.
It zooms in to where Hohenfeld is, or Hoffeld, or whatever area of the world you're talking about it. Because it changed its name. Because I'm still sticking by that it's just...
It's had multiple
Oh.
names over the generations. That makes sense.
Yes.
It's kind of like how people used to call it Willick.
Before
Okay,
someone spun the
I can
letter
get
around on
behind
the
that.
sign.
So yeah. The world zooms into Hoffeld. It goes up off the capital city, zooms over to the east, zooms down, and you are smacked in the face by the sight of a giant, swirling, snarling, bloodied werewolf-like thing.
Does it look any different, or is it like exactly the same as last time?
It lingers a little bit longer on you. It's not so sudden.
The image is still the same image?
I mean, it's moving around.
Oh, okay.
It's not like it's a still picture.
Gotcha.
It is an entity.
Cool. I flip it off.
All right,
Doesn't
you
matter.
flip off the room, and you're an orb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does not react.
No, it's in my mind. I
Like,
I mentally flip it off.
all right, it does not react.
Good. I didn't expect it to. I'm just.
Hope you feel better by flicking it off.
I do. It did a point of psychic damage to me, so flipping it off has got to be close to the equivalent. It would allow me. I mean, flipping someone off would be a way to cast vicious mockery. You know, like that's what I'm saying. I'm not belittling
writing-
the damage I took.
My very first note in my nice Joy 20 notebook.
Hey, I got the matching T-shirt. Ding, ding.
We have confirmed that Acolyte is in Haddonfeld,
Yeah.
Hoffield, bad guy McCentral.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really know that, but it's safe to assume because that's where the scry went.
It's leading me that direction, so it's either there's just good anti-scry magic stopping me from seeing specifically what's happening, or there's amazingly godlike good anti-scry magic that's making me think she's somewhere she's not. That those are the two options.
Mhm.
So both are technically possible. One is more likely. What would the king suggest if we were going to go investigate up north while they do their preparations? Where would he suggest we go?
I think that we should go to Occam and deliver the message of the plan. We can do that as a form of communication. And then, if you wanted, we could go into the Feywild. We could hurry on up to the Bear King's area and pop out a Fey tree there, and then make our way to the east, towards their northwest.
There is a Fey tree here as well.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
the Bear King's the one over here though, isn't it? I guess they both would be in his realm, because it's smaller.
Just
yeah.
because you have this knowledge pretty.
That
well
one, this
laid
one is
out.
probably closer to him. That middle one, so yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about the Fey.
Yeah.
He's in this area, but it's still in his realm. Is that one?
Yeah.
Both of those Fey trees were in his realm.
That is an option. Do we know of a way that we would be able to contact the Lord of the Hunt once we were in there to meet with him? Because he roams all over.
Well,
So trying to. I mean, he's mostly in the southern region.
yeah, he doesn't
But he
roam
does-
all over. He roams, because Talamh, roll me a history check with advantage.
History check with advantage.
16 will
Oh,
get you rough estimate of this is his area, roughly.
Okay.
That line, okay.
Like, he splits I guess, and up here a little bit, not as much, but he basically is the border of the various realms.
Okay.
So, he keeps, Nick Naveen and her
So if
sister away, and the Bear King and the River King apart.
If we went to Occam and went through the Fey Tree there again, and then traveled north, there's a chance we would encounter him in that middle region on our way to the northern Bear King's Fey Tree, and then, like you said, go east from there.
Mhm.
Investigate briefly, and if we find something, we can figure it out. If we don't find anything, then we reconvene back south with the army.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Problem is, I can't use magic teleportation circle again to get us to Occam until the next day.
Occam has a teleportation circle.
Oh, that's right. We can just use the existing ones. I forgot about that. So yeah, because we have free usage of them now.
You have free usage
So-
of purple to purple and orange to orange. Well, red
So-
to orange.
So we could just do that. Yeah. My spell is just useful to get us from somewhere that doesn't have one.
See?
I think that's a good plan. I'm on board with that.
To answer your
Alright.
question, up to the king, the scouts have not reported any large sighting, so he doesn't actually know what forces were seen. Because if you remember, whatever
They traveled up here, and then they kind of snuck past there to go to Bilthy.
Yep.
So they must have split up right around here, and then a small contingent went up this direction, essentially.
And
So
not a small contingent. Like, it's not like it was 20 guys. It was still,
I'm thinking like a few hundred.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably. I mean, the main forces went here.
The main force was a few thousand strong. A smaller expeditionary force would probably be a few hundred, maybe
Yep.
capping out at 500. Yeah.
And then
It's
from the
kinda-
map that there was some movement south as well.
Yes.
Not to the same level, because you also, everybody roll me a history check.
history.
9.
You got a 19.
Wow.
There you go. All right, so you especially, Ridire, and that makes sense, seeing as how you're old.
Today, Ridire is older than I am.
Yes. These were all cities that were part of that rebellion. And so less friendly towards the capital.
Yeah.
And probably still quite a bit of hostility embedded in those societies.
So as long as they weren't directly threatened, they probably would let the werewolves just move through the lands. Is kind of the thing.
Move through the land or openly back oppressive
Depending, yeah.
not oppressive, but a alternative regime.
Yeah. But down here, because this is one of the major cities here,
Mm-hmm.
they would have to have a big force to take that.
Yes.
So we can
as
assume
much
that
as you
if
can assume, Hastow is big, but it's not it's not to the size of these. You know, it's
Sure. But it's probably got a wall. It's probably got a moderately sized guard force. You know, I mean, it's got to have a bigger presence than Bilthy does as far as defenses.
no
Being a much
wall.
larger city.
No
Oh,
wall.
wall, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, they and fairly spread out. Like, this is where the big, but it actually covers a fairly large area.
Oh, it's Atlanta.
So it's conceivable they could
yeah.
be trying to take that right now, but even with it not being super defensible, if people are fighting for their lives in the streets, that's still a very slow urban progression to try and take territory.
And we're not part of that rebellion at all. They were absolutely
these people are gonna fight tooth and nail to save their land, kind of thing. So it's unlikely they've been able to push super far south yet, at least enough to consider themselves in control of the region, especially since there's a good chance they might be diverting troops back since the siege. I would assume that after the siege of Bilthy fell, they know there's an army on that side. So you would think they would, if they had a large force down going to the south that hadn't taken anything yet, they would probably pull them back for defensive purposes. Unless they really think they have a chance at claiming that and being able to use it as an additional staging point. But that could be a threat, but it's also not one that we're really in a position to do much about at the moment. But we also don't know what kind of numbers they would have overall. I mean, we killed a few thousand in that army, and we know they have at least that many, if not significantly more, spread out across their other forces. So probably 2 to 3 times as many would be a safe estimate. So because they have to have had at least 1 or 2 other forces of similar size. Yeah. Anyways, I think our strategy, though, I think that's our best bet. So we'll communicate that to the king then, and we'll go back to the teleportation circle.
We're going on a sneaky scouting mission.
And we'll go to Occam, and then we'll go straight from the circle into the Feywild, right? I mean, we're well rested. It's still the morning for us.
That's true.
It's only essentially will have only taken us a couple of hours.
I mean, you guys had breakfast, so it's probably 10 o'clock, I believe, when you reached the king and queen. You've been talking, so you have lunch. And then
we can still spend the better part of the day, of the afternoon, traveling through the Feywild before we have to rest again.
Yeah.
Banff and Banff.
And we'll shorten our time again so that this trip through the Feywild goes, quickly compared to the material plane.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite as much, because we want them to get a little bit of progress done, right?
I don't know. I would say
we want as much time to travel and investigate up north. So we'll keep it condensed as much as possible for this part of the journey.
All right, 1 day is 1 second.
Woo.
Second, jeez. I thought it went to the minute.
I thought it was a minute last time. Yeah.
1 day is 1 minute.
So, are we gonna? Do we want to fly through the Feywild, or do we want to just travel on the ground?
Let's go on the ground. I don't want to have to.
Okay. Well, I have Barnabas. Do we want to acquire another before we've entered the Feywild? Would we have wanted to acquire another steed for Oliver? We would have discussed this obviously before.
Yeah.
Just like a horse or something.
We did leave a cart and horse in Occam last time. I could have sworn we did.
No, that was at his hometown. We had horses.
Oh, okay.
And we gave them to the people there.
We're all over can polymorph into a horse.
I can same sort of thing, just not flying.
It's up to you. Because I think the only reason we wouldn't fly is just to be able to encounter the Lord of the Hunt easily, but we could still technically do that from the air. I was just potentially trying to save you from having to use your magic.
Oh yeah.
If we don't think that's necessary.
It works.
You know what? I'm gonna step in here.
Okay.
So, as you guys are discussing this, as you all are discussing this and wanting to try and figure out the best plan, you hear, "Hey, dweeb! What are you doing in Occam?"
Who are you calling a dweeb?
"My baby brother."
Oh, is this his buff sister?
Yep.
Did they tell us they were gonna be going somewhere?
You
Not specifically.
all had mentioned that moving into the keep could be an option.
Oh, that's true. We did.
And there, because the guy that you were talking to, the little gnome who was plotting and trying to figure out everything you needed for the keep, took it upon himself to inform not only Oliver's mom and sister, but traveling with them is the fated few.
Oh, well, this is a little bit of a surprise. I didn't know that you would be heading out so soon, or let alone that we would run into people here.
It's Mary, Mary, quite contrary. How do your muscles grow?
Larger every day, thanks to a healthy breakfast of eggs and protein.
Eggs are protein.
Protein
Or
and
does it-
protein.
4 dozen eggs every morning.
So you're roughly the size of a barge.
You got it.
That's 5 dozen eggs. Well, it's fantastic to see you all.
Yeah, heard you had a place that needed some renovations, but would provide some housing, something permanent.
Yes, we were. Yeah, I guess they informed. We were granted the Mora's old keep.
So you got yourself a haunted castle, huh?
Well, not very much.
I don't think it's
Excellent.
haunted anymore. I think we fixed the haunting a while ago. But yeah,
Person who wrote to us said that we should head out as soon as we could because you three didn't really seem to know what you were doing.
that is an apt assessment.
I've never owned a castle.
Well, I haven't either, but I know that you needed builders and a foreman and a chef and, you know, the basics.
Are you all headed there then?
As long as you're willing to put us up.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to stay. we want to turn it into a good place to stay and build a community there. You know, help people out.
Really turned the old haunted thing into like a less of a ghost town and more of like an actual town.
Can we call it Twilight Bastion?
It's a
We'll
nice ring to it.
make sure that we put that on the signage there. Is this open to people when we get it done? Is this your private keep, our private, like,
I would
summer
prefer
home?
it-
What?
I would prefer it to be a refuge for anyone that needs help. I think we should let people that want to build a new life, build a community, settle in the area. You know.
All right, so we're building a new town. Perfect.
Oh yeah.
Of course, it says people want to come in and everything, but it should be relatively welcome to people.
Yeah, I mean, most people will probably stay away just because of the rumors and the old, superstitions and the history for a while. But once we continue to work on it and bring it up to good standards, it should become more welcoming, I would hope.
Jesper bows, and says, don't worry, I will sing great songs about, Mora and the cleansing of the keep.
Wait,
Oh,
you also sing, Jesper? I know Mordai was the bard here, but I didn't know Jesper was a singer.
I'm working on it, I'm practicing.
that moment when the player calls out the TM on his notes.
Whoops,
Hey, I don't even
didn't
have
read-
my notes on this computer.
Didn't
know what
read
the-
low enough.
What's good as a group if you don't teach each other a few tricks? Yeah.
Right,
Right,
agreed.
so-
Listen. Mordai is teaching Jesper to sing. I'm working on it.
It's gonna be fantastic.
Heidi is learning how to play the lute.
Ooh.
Awesome.
And, Jennifer is learning how to play the drums.
This is amazing.
Wow.
The Fated
Sounds
Few
like it
is
is.
going to be doing our own adventures, but also spreading the word of the Twilight Brigade in song far and wide.
And we're working on our next adventure. and we'll be sure to tell you all about it after.
Well, we will have a tavern available for you, depending on when you return to Morris, to your keep, to the Twilight.
Let's see, with the working title, the Bastion of Twilight. That might work, I think.
Bastion of
Flip it around a
Twilight.
little bit. Yeah, I like
Bastion,
that.
Okay.
Bastion of Twilight. Hopefully, no cataclysm or something happens there. That would be
Oh,
bad.
Where are you all headed?
Well, we're going to go to the Feywild for a moment or two.
Yep.
literally. Yeah.
Quick jaunt. We're doing some
Actually,
investigating
literally
for
like
the
a minute
king.
or two, but then it is a whole thing.
Time's weird in the Feywild.
Ah, yes, we've been. Lost like 2 days by just peeking our head in a Fey tree one time.
Really?
Oh, yeah, it'll
happen.
get
Oh.
you.
I stepped in, I was 12 years old. Popped out, it looked like this.
That's weird. I love it. Makes for a good story. Good
One time
song.
we walked in and then everything was normal, and then we walked out like a couple days later and everything was like this. It was like red.
I know, I went in, the sky was dark, and then I came out and the sky was still dark.
And you can sense the entire Fated Few shifting uncomfortably. Meanwhile, Mary just starts laughing.
Barry gets it.
Well, hopefully there's news of some sort of other group or something, a smaller. The word is escaping my mind. But of some of the werewolves or generally some of their army that seem to be up north, northwest, north, in that direction. So we were going to see if we could figure out where they are and what they're doing.
And that's why we started heading southwest as soon as we were told that there was a safe place to go.
Oh, did you encounter them?
No, but I mean, just a few that have been coming by the bar every
Yeah.
couple of days to try and cause problems, but no large force or anything.
Okay.
That is good.
But,
Yes.
last time you were at the bar, you had left a cart and horse and carriage. Do you be needing that
yeah.
back?
Now that you mention it.
We could probably use another horse. Barnabas here can't carry all three of us. Well, not easily.
Well, it's your horse if you want to take him. Yeah, we're good. If anything, Mary can just pull the cart herself if she needed to.
This is true. She's done it before.
Oh,
Yeah. I think that would be very helpful.
I want to be like Mary when I grow up.
Talamh,
Oh.
you have grown up. I don't.
I'll pet Talamh on the shoulder and be like, "You will be. You will be."
Ridire, she has grown up.
Shh. Child at heart, Oliver. Child at heart, and we should all seek to be so.
Still grown up though.
You're being really awkward about this. Is there something you want to talk about, Oliver?
Look, I just think it is very strange that like I had to go through 12 entire of the most awkward years of my life, and she just got to skip right over that. It was.
I don't know if that's the actual root of the issue. I think there's something
a little
deeper going
unfair.
on here.
A little unfair. That's all
See,
I'm saying.
What I think you, Oliver, also missing is the 8 years I had to spend as a spirit, trapped in a body, unable to do anything at all.
It does count for something.
I suppose, but I mean, there's never the really really awkward phase where you're all gangly and a little weird,
Like you still are.
That is true.
Burn!
Yeah, but I'm less gangly, There's it's there's a difference between stick and lamppost.
Yes, and someday you won't be a stick anymore, Oliver.
Thank you, Ridire. You know what? I think we should just go to the now. I think this conversation has gone far enough. Thank you for the cards and everything back. The keep, I don't think, is too far from you, so.
They said it was another day and a half journey south. So.
Yeah, not super far.
Shouldn't be
Southwest.
terribly.
The keep, for remembering, is about here.
Yeah, it's like near the southern tip of the mountain. Yeah,
I think it's between the lake and the mountain.
I thought so too. Yeah, ballpark.
So shall we away into the Fey Tree?
So yeah, into the Feywild.
Okay.
Well, it was good catching up with you all. Well, we've got to be on our way.
I'm sure we'll stop by at some point or another.
It is our house, so
It's true.
We'll take good care of it while you're gone. Be safe. Oliver, your mother dotes on you for a little bit. And at that, you part ways, and now you have a horse. All right. Now we're back
Travel
here.
north. Travel north. Come, Barnabas. Show us the meaning of haste.
All right. You guys are going to travel north. Where is your ultimate destination?
The Fey Tree.
Fey Tree?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll kind of take a lazy loop through this central region to hope we run into the Lord of the Hunt.
All right. Talamh, roll me a D100, please.
Cool.
I'm gonna get Barnabas running as fast as that horse in the magic sword.
All right. Ridire, roll me a D4.
Oh, that is a much smaller dice size. 2.
Oliver, roll me a D4.
That's also a small die. 1.
Okay. Fantastic.
Dragon!
So,
Not another one.
Oliver and I summon our own dragons.
I
you
mean, I can. Yeah, we both can, can't we?
you all take off and start traveling northward towards the known location of the Fey Tree. I need somebody to roll me a D20 for the day.
So Curiosity's got it.
17.
All right. Pretty easy travel for the very first day. Say you make it about here. It's going to take you probably about 2 days to get all the way, 2 more days all the way up to the tree if there are no distractions.
That's fine.
Have we met any sentient Fey people along the way, like Furbold or what have you?
You do, as you're traveling, come across a tiny little set of houses, somewhat buried in the dirt.
Oh, is these those underground people that we chatted with before? That were like animal people or whatever they were?
They're like little prairie dogs.
Yeah. I hope so. They were super awesome and friendly and nice and cute and fluffy.
So you have come across some houses that
I just want to ask whoever I find that can actually speak
Hello! Is anyone at home?
if they've seen the Lord of the Hunt tonight.
okay. So you call out and say hello,
Yeah.
and you hear a
Hello!
small voice going, "Greetings, traveler. You're different."
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't mean to bother you. We were just wondering if the Lord of the Hunt had been through the area recently.
Yeah. Yeah, no bother. Yeah. Lord of the Hunt. He's, probably about a day or two ago. His party went through. Yeah.
To the north or to the south?
Northwest.
Oh, amazing.
Excellent.
What
You
the
guys rolled
coincidence.
really well, by the way.
How serendipitous.
And fortuitous.
It was all you. I started with west, and you rolled a 2, so that was north. And then Panda did the diagonal, and that was northwest.
That is
Very nice.
fantastic. All right.
That was
That was so
Works.
perfect.
the
yeah.
the
wow.
D100 was how far away he was.
Oh,
All right. Yeah,
Like,
cool.
This lined up. I did not just go, okay, I'll give this to you.
Yeah, no, that's amazing.
It's fantastic.
The
So,
D&D gods are rewarding us for some reason.
for
ooh,
not
which
being
one?
murder hobos. As
Yeah,
it's
for not
been
being
since
murder
the first
hobos.
day.
Which one is visiting Oliver right now?
Which god, yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah. Need anything else?
No, we were just wanting to make sure we were headed in the right direction, so
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah. Have fun.
Yeah, you too.
Yay. I'm gonna go back to
Bye.
digging.
Yeah, I hope you have a
like
great time.
dig too? Oh, that's my favorite thing.
You like digging?
I do.
We love digging. It's
I
so
know,
much
it's
fun.
great. I love it.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye. And little
Alright.
prairie dog person goes with his little satchel and his shovel, goes back into his house, and yeah, you're able to continue on your way for the rest of the day.
Prairie dog, and I'm digging a hole.
I love burrowlings. They're so cute.
Yep. Oh, he was nice. Let's go.
All right. Do you make camp or do you push?
Let's go a little bit away from where their little village is then.
Oh, that was midway through the.
Oh,
that-
okay,
that was
okay,
like-
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
you
then-
probably traveled north another hour after
Okay.
the burrowling settlement.
Okay, yeah, then yeah, as long as let's find a spot to make camp then, I guess, right?
Okay.
Sure.
Talamh, do you want to use your senses to locate a good, sturdy, defensible place?
Sure. I would love to. Do I have to roll anything for that?
Survival check with advantage.
All right. How about an 18?
18? Yeah. Doesn't take you long to find something that's steady ground on a hill looking out over the prairie. I mean,
All right.
they're looking out over the prairie. You're sensing. You don't sense any dangers nearby.
All right.
Okay. I pull I step on the ground and out pop 3 triangular slabs of rock.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. We'll just do our normal watches, I suppose.
All right.
They're taller than they used to be because I have to be able to stand up in it.
Fair enough. All right. In order of rest, everybody roll me a perception check. Whoever's going first.
It's Oliver, then me, then Talamh.
19.
19. Just do them in quick succession.
Yeah, I just had to open my character sheet back up because I always have it minimized so I can look at the map. 16.
28.
28.
God lord.
Oh wait, I have advantage because of my shield, so 17.
17. All right. Oliver. So reminder that there's always a moon present over the Queen of Witches area. But day and night is very loose here, so it doesn't get super dark at night. You're able to see fairly well. At this distance, or at this elevation, I mean, you are able to look out during your watch, and you catch sight of a couple of creatures that go in a pack, and you've seen these before on your last visit to the Feywild. Where they're like running across the horizon, and then all of a sudden they just disappear and are further away when they reappear in an instant.
Giant teleporting Fey deer. Those are cool.
And the big thing that stands out for you is this large creature that is pretty big even on the horizon as you see it move. Go from west to east across the horizon. Does not turn towards you, but is moving at a pretty good pace when you lose sight of it. Ridire, you see not much on the horizon, honestly. At this point, it's late in the day cycle, and most things seem to quiet down, but you do see a giant Fey owl go across the sky.
Beautiful.
Like, looks like a snowy owl, but in a very temperate climate. And behind it, as it's going, I mean, this thing takes up a large section of the sky, and it looks as if there's gold dust trailing behind it as it flies. It's a very unique, cool sighting.
Oh, cool. Saving that one to the memory bank.
Hedwig and the angry foot. Because it's really big.
Okay. I'm not touching on that. Talamh, 28. Good lord.
I can see into the future.
Yeah.
I can see the future.
Again, not a lot of stuff around, but you do feel low in the ground. Past your sight line, quote-unquote sight line, but bringing up vibrations to where you can sense it. There is movement deep in the earth. Not sure what it is, but knowing how close you are to the location of the Night Queen.
Yeah.
Queen of Night
Ser
and Magic.
Ridire.
Yeah. You get the sense that there's probably something down there and moving
It's
around.
weird.
Probably lots of things down there. You're just sensing something big, deep underground.
It's an old cave dragon.
Could be. You know of at least one that's down there.
It's that cave dragon.
Purple worm.
They're
Okay.
all. What's the difference between a purple worm and a regular worm?
One of them is purple.
And gargantuan.
Well, then how would I know?
Because you can sense the color purple. Purple feels different.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so the rest of the night goes off without a hitch. You're able to wake up, get a little bit of breakfast in you, and...
Oh, hold on.
Oh, here we go. Pun time!
It's the same one.
It
Doesn't get fatter than
doesn't
this.
get fatter than this. Alright. Day is yours. You are able to go whichever way you want to go.
Northwest.
Yep.
Alright.
Northwest.
Somebody roll me a survival check.
Oh, I can do that again.
I only have a +2.
Same.
Is it with or without advantage?
It's the Feywild. I'm going to give you advantage.
Yay,
Then
so
then that
25.
was a nat 20.
Yay, nat 20. We needed one tonight.
Yeah, it's been the first one. We normally get a lot more than that.
All right. So, you travel on, and it doesn't take you more than probably 2 or 3 hours where all of a sudden you start to see. So the entire time you've been traveling, like, you can see where the blink dogs and the fey deer have been crossing. You can see some deep game trails along, or if you're Talamh, you can sense them. The breeze in the grass and the break in between where an animal has pushed the foliage down consistently over time. It is about 3 hours into your journey where all of a sudden the game trails seem to get much wider, much more compacted, and it is very clear that this is not natural to the area. And finding one with a 25, I'm just going to say you are able to pick up that while these trails were heading northwest, they have started to move in an easterly direction.
Okay.
Roll me a history check, Talamh.
11.
Okay. A few things you know about the Lord of the Hunt from your time with him. Large wild animals become more plentiful in his presence and in his wake. And game trails become deeper. And he has a traveling group that moves with him. And they seem to leave these kind of trails wherever he travels. And right
So
now
that
it is
means-
moving and that way.
Well,
Was heading
I-
that way, now it is shifted that way.
Well, I suppose we follow that to try and meet with him, as opposed to ignoring it, because we can always make up some time later. The time we spend here doesn't affect things too much out there. So
It's negligible out of there.
It's
yeah.
been a minute.
It's been
It's been a minute.
It's
Hey,
been
King and Queen.
literally
It's been a minute.
a minute. The
But I
fated
wish it was-
few have made it a block.
I wish that it was like a second, because with your fighting werewolves, you like back up into the tree, you long rest, and you pop out, and they won't even have had the 8 seconds to like get to the tree.
Yep, not breaking it that much, not letting you do the long
The one
rest
for all.
of the one for all.
I feel like moving
Or all-
through the Fey tree, there's enough time dilation distortion that it doesn't give you that 8 seconds.
Hmm.
There's a small delay that would make something like that not work.
It's kind of like
Well,
entering another
As
portal
the time
in
like
Minecraft.
shrinks down. Yeah.
It's a similar effect to entering the nether portal in Minecraft, where
There's a few seconds where they're both in sync, and then yeah.
the merging of the worlds, the bleeding through of the time dilation, matches, and then it pulls apart.
But yeah, let's follow the trail left by the
Hey,
Lord of the Hunt.
Okay. So you start to head in a northeasternly direction and start following this trail. And I'm not even going to make you roll a survival check because as you're approaching and starting to follow this trail, it's like getting onto a paved road. The horses are able to move at a very fast pace.
That's cool.
It becomes very smooth travel.
I'm just like picturing a boat that leaves game trails in its wake.
That as you approach, and you're following this, and it gets to be the evening when you find yourselves roughly here, and
Oh,
there is a giant cart, probably the size of a house, 2 stories,
Whoa.
kind of a giant, just 2-story house, huge wagon wheels that have been making this path forward. And you see, because they're not making any attempt to hide. There's torches lit up, there's a giant roaring fire. You see all manner of fey creatures here. You see satyrs, tabaxi, eladrin. There are a couple of creatures that look like centaurs, but are more deer-like, adorned with silvery, shining jewelry on their horns. Couple of furbolg that are kind of tending to the nature around. And it's a lively group. They're not as rambunctious as the bear folk, but there's an air of jovial spirit and enjoyment of where they're at. And amongst them, you see, sitting down, relaxing with a giant slab of meat, the Lord of the Hunt.
I go right up to him with my face white as a sheet. Because that's how I roll.
I'll dismount and we'll just follow. I'll follow a few steps behind.
Yeah, I've hopped off the horse.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You were gone.
Just ho. So you're embracing your true nature now, huh?
I say it's pretty wonderful.
And what are we going by these days?
Oh, call me Talamh. I decided to keep a bit of both of my don't even know what you'd call them, but you know what I mean.
You mean you decided to embrace who you are?
Yes.
A little column A, a little column B.
Hi.
And now,
Now here
column
I am.
C. Talamh. Oh, this is what I like to see. Balance between things. Just as it is with nature.
Just as it is. How?
And as it
bad?
should be.
But enough about me. How have you been? I mean, I know we ran into you, in the Canyon of Night and Magic, but
Yes, caused quite a stir in there, didn't you?
well, things needed to be done.
Yes, on my end as well. Glad to see that things were taken care of.
And you can see we've taken good care of the armor. But you didn't think we could do.
Happy to be proven wrong.
I'll pose and my cloak will billow out dramatically behind me.
Okay. Well, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But what great deeds have you done with it?
Let's see. We since we've gotten the armor, what did we
stopped
do?
an entire werewolf arc.
Yeah, we liberated a town. We defended another town from a siege. We fought a dude in an arena. Yeah, it's been a bunch of stuff's been going on.
But it hasn't even been that long since we've gotten it, so
Yeah, we're packing in the events.
the timeline is very compressed.
Glad to see you're doing so much with it.
Now, I want to ask you. You haven't seen any pesky werewolves running through the Feywild anymore, have you?
Oh, every now and then they come wandering in through, the Nick Naveen's area and seem to wander around. They've been traipsing around the River King's area a little bit, but he keeps drowning them.
Good work.
Good. Well, I'm sure they've been killing all kinds of stuff that you don't want them to.
More than their fair share, and they're not very sporting with it either.
Well, so here's the thing. With what we've gotten ourselves into, we're trying to make it so that they don't do that anymore. But, if we fail, they might come pouring in here. And I wanted you to be aware of that, so you can be ready. I don't think we're going to fail, but just in case I'm wrong.
Well, you have the armor. I can send some other magical items on you.
A few here and there.
Yeah. Rumor has that one of you has something you shouldn't.
Ridire, what do you have?
I won this spear fair and square.
No, not that. Are you holding some cards, Ridire? I told you shouldn't take those.
Wait. Oliver? I thought that was you.
I don't have the cards on me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Huh. I could have Alright. Fine. I didn't think that Ser Ridire would be the steely type of guy.
I
Very
didn't steal
strange.
them. If
Well,
there was one person in this group that stole anything, I think we all know who it was. Barnabas.
Hey, don't be blaming the magical horse.
It's a joke. I know Barnabas would never. He's way too awesome. I'm just gonna look at Oliver.
He speaks in a odd mix of whinnies and clicks and nays and looks at you. He needs to be fed and groomed more often, but he likes you.
he needs to be fed.
If Barnabas needs to be fed and groomed, he's able to tell me, because he can communicate telepathically with me.
Oh.
He didn't want to say anything. He didn't want to impose, but...
Oh, well, yeah. Absolutely. I'm gonna walk straight up. I'm gonna walk Barnabas over to where the furbolgs are and see if we can get him some dinner.
They get a giant plate, and they are more than happy to dote on him.
Oh, buddy!
There you go, Barnabas. I give
You just-
Barnabas a little pet.
You hear a voice in your head of just, this is nice.
Just gotta say the word, man.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to impose.
No, I totally get it. I totally get it, and I appreciate that. But we're a team, and I you're important. I want to help you out too. Okay.
Oliver, you were gonna say something about the deck?
No, it's just there may be something that disappeared from there, but
Yeah, well, I'm not one to get involved. But, better bring her something to apologize with if you're, heading back that way.
I think if everything goes according to plan, there might be a couple things that we could bring her.
Oh heck! If everything goes according to plan, I'm gonna give her all of this stuff.
It shouldn't all be in one location, but
Seeing as she wasn't really great keeping werewolves out the first time. But if there won't be anywhere, We don't know what other enemies could be trying to take them.
She didn't keep them out, but her museum kept them in.
That's a very good point. I think her museum's more dangerous than she is.
So, I mean, she bearded weird. Well, golly gee whiz, I have a message to bring y'all.
Are you here to just make small talk? Are you asking for something? What can I do for you?
Wait, is that the Lord of the Hunt? Did he turn into a Western guy?
It creeped in a little bit there. I'm trying to fight it.
We just wanted to... Really, we were taking a shortcut through here. So I guess we're a bit of a hypocrite because we're like the pesky werewolves. But be that as it may, I like to think that I'm from here, so I can use it as a walking path. Letting you know that there's an off chance that there could be more werewolves coming through. Now that we've seen you.
I mean, did you kill any creatures unsportingly? Did you wipe out any herds?
No.
Then you're fine.
Oh, well, that's good.
I don't own... I'm not like the others. I don't own this land. I just care for it. And have some fun in it.
That's why we like you.
I like her. I don't know about you two yet.
But I like you. That's you don't have to like me. I get it. But I respect
dislike you, but you haven't done anything to earn my respect yet. Other than keeping this one safe, I will give you proper, praise for that.
It goes both ways. I keep them safe too.
This too, she's very capable.
She's a badass.
Believe me, I know.
Here's the thing, Lord of the Hunt. I don't know what else to call you.
Yeah, that works. I don't really have one. I don't go by anything else.
Last time we met, if there was anything else that I'm missing out on while we're here.
I mean, missing out on...
I don't know. Previously, I could only, move things around in the earth, but now I'm able to, walk through trees.
I mean, if it's experience you're wanting in developing your powers, you gotta hunt something. Something. Try not to be southern. None of you have had a major hunt, from what I can gather.
Yeah, we've pretty much just been hunting werewolves. That doesn't count, really.
Pitiful creatures.
They really are.
Yeah, they suck.
Can only go so far dulling your blade on something that tiny. Now, if you want a real challenge, we've been tracking a creature for the last few days. Give you a good challenge.
Right, what creature would this be?
Well, if I tell you any more about it and you decide to go hunt it, that's spoiling all the fun.
So we have the information that there is a creature, and we should hunt it?
A large creature.
Okay, large.
Shifted north.
Okay. Does it have a lot
We're
of
going
teeth?
north.
Yeah, lots of teeth.
Small arms?
No arms.
No arms. Interesting.
Any legs?
Any what?
Legs.
Yeah. Legs.
Legs. no arms, and it's large and vast and
Lots of
Look.
teeth.
Lots of
sounds
teeth.
fun.
Lots
I
of
think we
legs,
should-
or just like the normal, like 2 or 4.
2 or 4.
Okay.
I think we should do it.
This would be worth a shot, I think. We could see if we could find it. Something of that description. Could be many things, though.
You might discover more about it as you track it.
Perhaps.
I mean, we've got time.
Yeah,
Like, literally, like, what is it? Like, we have, like, every day in the year is, like, a minute back in the material plane. So, we have a good amount of time.
we got a few minutes. We can do this. I want to go fight something and
Okay.
impress the Lord of the Hunt.
Let's
Make camp for the night, and then it moves at night, or tends to move in the dusk era. So it's been resting, so we're gonna let it chase and make a trail. And you'll be able to pick it up tomorrow, and we'll find something else to hunt for now.
hey, sounds like a plan.
Oh, have you been tracking it this whole time?
Few days.
Well, we'll be sure to bring you back a trophy from it.
Bring me back a trophy, and might just earn a favor from one of the Fey Lords.
Well, we could always use favors.
I'm not inclined to give them out very often, but you take this down and we'll talk.
Watch, it's the freaking Tarask.
Oh, God.
Yeah, well,
Going to yeet a Tarask at you guys.
I polymorph it into a turtle.
let's rest for the night and then go tracking this thing.
All right. So you do not need to set up a perimeter or watch or anything, because the Lord of the Hunt's party is more than inclined to do that for you.
Anything in the Feywild is dumb enough to attack the Lord of the Hunt's entire retinue.
Oh, I mean, you never know.
Big dumb.
Okay.
Dragon.
So, here's how we're gonna do this. You wake up in the morning, set off on your hunt. The Lord of the Hunt gives you some directions and gives you a little bit of insight into what the markings on this thing are. So, you know that it has a fairly wide body, 4 legs, kind of a wide body with a serpentine tail that drags behind it. And is very, very large. Like when you find a patch that has its feet, all 3 of you can stand in its from one foot to the other.
This thing's gonna be really cute and hard to kill, isn't it? It's gonna feel bad the whole time.
Wait, so we can all stand in one footprint?
No, not in one footprint. So
Oh, okay.
footprint, and then on the other side footprint, and then in between.
The 3 of us shoulder to
3 of
shoulder are the span between its feet. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's still pretty big.
You might say it's gargantuan.
So, Can I make like a nature check to see if I can ascertain anything about this creature beyond what you've told us?
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
My checks
Can I
are really
help?
low, but
Yeah, you can help because you know the Feywild.
cool. That's a nat 20 then.
I was gonna say yes, and then it beeped, and I'm like, well, still gonna say yes.
It would have been a 17 otherwise, which is pretty dang good for a no
Yeah.
bonus. So,
The only other thing that you can ascertain at this point, because you're still, as far as you can tell, you're probably pretty far away from it.
yeah.
There are some areas where it looks like the ground has been tunneled through. It's all collapsed in on itself, so there's not like a tunnel that you can then go into.
But it must have burrowed underneath and then it collapsed in its wake, kind of thing.
Yep, it burrowed at some point, and there are some areas around the burrowing that are burned in some way.
Ooh, okay.
There's not ash, per se, so it's not like it's starting fires as it goes,
But scorched.
but
Or...
burned.
Interesting. With that roll, would I have been able to ascertain if it's like more reptilian or mammalian or anything like that?
Judging by the footprints that you were able to find, reptilian in nature.
Okay. All right. That's mostly what I wanted to know.
Sounds like a huge salamander.
Yes, like some sort of like salamander drake type thing in that sort of realm of creature.
All right.
Well,
so
Cool.
Yeah, let's keep going.
as you hunt this thing, I'm gonna need everybody to make a survival check.
I'm good at those.
Oh,
I am good at those.
Wow, 25.
do I get advantage?
Do you get advantage?
I have them on perception and insight,
Okay.
not generally for survival.
Okay, so 19, 21. Wow. Yeah, you're
Even
able
my
to
10 isn't the worst it could have
Yeah.
been.
Okay. You get on the Lord of the Hunt points out what you're looking for, kind of. That's all you need. The three of you are off in the direction. You're confident about where you're going. Travel is easy. You find these clues. And yeah, you travel for about a day. So we're now on day 3 in the Feywild as the sun
And-
comes up.
3 minutes.
During the evening, nothing of event happens. Everybody roll me a perception check. Just for Night Watch.
Perception check
16.
with advantage. Dirty 20.
A 13. That's the lowest I have rolled in a very long time.
Yeah. Okay. Ridire.
Yeah.
You see a large creature off in the distance. It's hard to make it out. But you see something moving north away from you in the evening. And it
Okay.
and yeah, dirty 20, that's what you're going to get on that one. So very, very large, takes up a lot of the horizon that you see it on, but all right, everybody go ahead and roll me another survival check.
20. I'm rolling really good.
14, which is better than my last one.
Survival. Sorry, guys.
You're fine.
So this next day of tracking, you're even better off. You are able to track this thing easily. You're seeing its direct path that it's taking. And as it gets to be late at night, I need everybody to roll me a straight d20.
Three. 2.
18. Okay. As you rest for the night, you have gone as far as you can for the day. You think that you're probably pretty well set up. Oliver and Ridire start to relax by a small fire. Talamh, you're setting up your rock little outcropping when all of a sudden the ground starts to shake and you feel something very, very large start moving out of the ground directly at the party.
They're asleep right now?
They're resting, they're awake.
We haven't
Oh.
started night watch yet or anything.
Oh, okay.
It's still dusk-ish in the Feywild, so it's still pretty light out. But not, But they got into a false sense of security, and because this thing tunnels, you were able to sense it a lot earlier, and it's coming at you at a very fast speed.
Boys, I don't think we're tracking it anymore. I think it's tracking us.
How do you two respond?